Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, this is sort of like a part 2 video. Today we're still talking about the Kizuna Pirate Alliance against the KUJA Pirates over here on the global side of the game. But in today's video, or in the second part of the video, we're talking about the Super Boss. So with the new Kizuna Alliance, the Pirate Alliance Kizuna, there comes a new Super Boss. Now, if you guys don't know what this Super Boss is, I did mention in my other video, my 10-star prep, which I'll leave a little card at the top of the video for you guys. I'll leave a link in the description as well. But with the Super Boss, if we scroll down here to the Super Boss stuff, you get these boss tokens. Now, you collect boss tokens by doing the 10-star event. And basically, once you get 30 boss tokens or Super Boss tokens, you can actually use them for the Super Boss event. Now, the Super Boss has 3 color variations. There's the Strength, the Dex, and the Quick. So it starts Strength and it goes Quick, then it goes Dex, I'm pretty sure. And basically what happens is they started around 1 billion HP. Now the gimmicks that the Super Boss do are nowhere near as tricky as the 10-star event, but they take a lot more damage. Their HP scaling is drastic, like absolutely monstrous. If I quickly slide over to my JP game here, big shout out to Pirate C137. If you boys are watching this video, you guys know I'm talking to you. We are sitting at level 44 of the Super Boss, which is absolutely wild. The Super Boss has 407 billion HP. Now, I don't know if you guys can, like, see that. You probably can't because it's all blurry. I'd bring it up, but, like, just trust me when I say, like, yeah, 407 billion HP. It's absolutely wild. And look, there are a lot of zombie teams. Shout out to my boys for creating some zombie teams over there on the Japanese side of the game. There are some zombie teams that can do it. And obviously those zombie teams are going to help your alliance out drastically. But zombie teams suck. Like, straight up, they suck. It's kind of like breaking the game, I guess. They take so long to do. And if you guys are down for doing that, it is going to help you guys out a lot. And don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting people that want to do zombie teams, but I'm not going to be sharing any zombie teams. If you guys have any zombie teams, I would highly recommend keeping them for yourselves. This is a competitive event at the end of the day. It's not about how many runs you do, how much time you put in. It is a competitive event. And zombie teams, look, they kind of kill it a little bit for me. But in saying that too, if you guys want to get your hands on them and do them, check out Subconsi, check out, if you're part of the Grand Fleet, head over to our Discord, and you guys will see some there. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but if you do want to join the Discord, head over there. Join the fleet, and you guys will have access to stuff like that as well. But I do know Subconsi did do a video. I will leave a link to it in the description below if you guys want to check that out. Go give that man a sub if you haven't done so already. The guy's an absolute weapon of a JP player. But you basically cooperate with your alliance, and if you don't kill the boss, which is understandable, it starts at 1 billion HP. If you don't kill the boss, don't stress. The next person that jumps in goes in at the HP that you left the boss at. Or you can jump back in yourself. That'll work absolutely fine. But like I said, you can do a zombie team if you want to. They tend to work as well. But in today's video, we will be doing like some team building and sort of getting a little bit of insight on how I like to build my teams when it comes to these types of events, and how I like to put together teams just in general, I guess. So, there is a bit of an infographic. Again, shout out to the One Piece Twitter. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. This is basically what the Super Boss does. So you oh wow, words are hard. Super Boss KUJA Pirates. Cooperate with your alliance member to get great rewards. During the Super Boss fight, you will achieve alliance support based on the number of alliance members participating. So there is ranking events as well. You can get like S1, S2, S3. It's like top 10% and stuff like that. So you do want to sort of like rank highly to get rewards as well. Obviously, you get more box like tickets as well, which helps out like your account. So make sure you are like staying on top of your free stamina. If you have potions, now's the time to use them. And to make sure to stay up on top of your requests, like your saves. Make sure you guys are doing that as well. So the first battle is a strength fight. Free spirit slashers and fighters get their cooldowns. The boss turns into a super type and there's just special reverse. Like that is it. For like, it doesn't matter how many stages you do. That is the only gimmick. On stage 2, normally there is like a mini boss, but that mini boss just runs away. Like they don't really do anything. So as you can see, like there's not a lot of gimmicks. Like special reverse, slot change to unfavorable, locking the target, and there's burn. Like who cares about burn, right? Like if you don't kill them, you're gonna die anyway, right? So there's also that. So some characters will be boosted to grant you more tickets. So Ace Sabo gives you more tickets. So you can always use the boosted characters if you can. But Ace Sabo don't give extra drops when it comes to actually killing the Super Boss. It's mainly just there so when they, like you get more Super Boss tokens and more actual tickets yourself. The Super Sugo Fest, Luffy, Law, and Kid are also boosted. And visit the in-game to view all the boosted characters. If I kind of slide back over to the game here quickly, this one. If we slide back over to the game here, you guys will see the boosted list. This is all in game too, if you guys want to check that out. Ace Sabo's boosted, Komurasaki, the Luffy Law, the Yutas Kid, Bonnie, the Onigashima Trio batch, the Bonnie batch, Rebecca, so the Rebecca Reiju and the Shirahoshi, Kaido and Big Mom, Yoro, Koala, Shinobu, and then basically all the Kizuna rare recruits are all boosted as well. Sanji Pudding's also boosted because they are a Kizuna rare recruit, Sugo Fest. So if you can include them on a team, they are going to help you guys out as well, which is really, really nice. And there is 6+, any of the 6+ legends as well. So that's also quite nice. So they have boosted stats. So like I said, we are going to do some team building for this particular event. So if we slide back over to the infograph, the first fight is against a strength boss, and free spirit slashes fighters get their special cooldown, and then we only have to deal with special reverse. So the way I like to do my team building, I like to hit select all. I like to start over, completely start with a clean slate. Now the boosted characters were free spirit, shooters, and fighters. Okay, and because the boss is strength, we are going to start by just looking at our quick characters. So let's have a look at for a captain. We want a good captain ability. That is usually what we want to be going for. So for this particular instant, the best quick captain I do think that is going around at the moment when we're talking just straight quick would be the new Luffy. Now, if you guys don't have the new Luffy, I would probably use something like Roger. Roger's a really, really good option. He's got a really, really good attack boost because free spirits are boosted. But we can also look at some other options in terms of quick. You've also got Magellan. Magellan you could probably use as a captain. Now, all of these bosses do have full immunity at the end, so just be mindful of that. So you do want to be careful when it comes to that sort of stuff. Luffy's going to be our attack booster. Let's have a look here. You could probably use maybe Ace versus Kainu. They're not a designated quick booster. You could easily use Ace Sabo if you have Ace Sabo, but ideally you want it to be a super type. Super types are going to give that 0.25 extra to their color, and Luffy's going to do that. So if we have a look at some other super types that we could have access to, we have Magellan. We probably have something like... no, Kaido's not one of those classes. Remember, we have to keep the classes of fighters, free spirits, and shooters. If you guys don't have Luffy, I would highly recommend bringing a friend Luffy captain. Luffy's really, really good for this fight, as long as you can trigger his super typing. So we're going to stick with Luffy as our captain for now. Like I said, you can probably try Magellan or bring a friend Luffy. Use something like Ace Sabo, that could work as well. Next, we want to look for an attack boost. Attack boost is what I always go for first when it comes to building a team, and Luffy's going to be your man for that. Luffy's our attack booster, so that works quite nicely. So we don't have to worry about an attack boost. The next thing I like to look at is looking for a orb booster. Orb booster with matching orbs. And in this case, I'm going to use Ace Sabo. Ace Sabo are a 2.5 times orb boost. With their super switch mechanic as well, they can give a full border orbs as well as color affinity. However, I do want to bring a friend Ace Sabo, namely because I just don't need two of them. Ace Sabo are rainbow damage in this Kizuna as well, so just be mindful of that. We just don't need two of them, right? When it comes to building teams, hybrid teams are going to output the most amount of damage, so you need to be mindful of that when you are team building as well. With the special reverse, to get around special reverse, you could easily just use your filters up here. We can go down to here and we can have a look at special reverse if you guys are, or special charge. So these particular characters here are going to give you special charge. You could probably use something like Legend Lucy if you limit break expanded him as well. You have Carousel, he can give you charge. Speed. You have a lot of options. And then if you don't like your strength options, you can easily just click all the colors. And then you can have a look at your options this way. Now, like I said, the best next captain I can think of for free spirits, if we are building a free spirit team, I would be looking at using something like Roger and then bring a friend Luffy. That way you just build a free spirit team and you are going to be in good stead. So, we've got our orb booster. We've got color affinity with our Ace Sabo as well. We have an attack boost with Luffy, we have a base stat with boost with Luffy, and we have has a chain buff with his super typing. So because we have a chain buff with his super typing, I want to sort of work with that in terms of how can I get the most max amount of damage. And now chain lockers are very, very strong. Chain lockers are amazing. I do think they're actually more viable than something like an orb boost if you don't have a way to manipulate orbs as well. So if we go back up here to boost damage, we can go for chain lockers. Now, because Luffy gives a chain buff, we want to sort of start the chain multiplier at 2.5, going upwards. And the two characters that I can think of that do that would be something like Verse Ace, or something like, where is Wano Law? Okay, so Law doesn't come under Chain Locker. That's weird. You come under Chain Booster? Okay. Well, the only other character I can think of is Law. Now, these particular characters, you start the Chain Multiplier at 2.5, going upwards from there. So with Luffy, you're going to start at a 3.5 times Chain Lock, which is really, really nice. The next thing I want to look at is sort of finding another way to manipulate that kind of chain. The best character I can think of to manipulate that kind of chain is two options. We have Jumanji. Jumanji's great because their switchability. Or you have something like V2 VV Rebecca, wherever they are. Where's V2 VV Rebecca? Oh, so they're not actually boosted because they don't get their cooldowns. But it doesn't really matter too much because we don't need their special. But we still want them to be in their dual form because it means they're going to output a lot more damage. So we're probably going to go with Jumanji. The beautiful thing about Jumanji is he can actually boost your chain multiplier as well as remove paralysis, which is great, which we don't really need actually. But they also are the super type condition for Luffy being a Sanji unit, which is really, really nice. So that's going to cover our chain multiplier. And then we need to look at some other options in terms of stuff like color affinity, orb boost, orb manipulation, and conditional boost. Now, unfortunately, there is full immunity. So there is only one option that I can think of when it comes to immunity boost, like the full immunity. And that is going to be something using something like the new KUJA Pirate. So we will include Boa here just for the sake of the argument. But once you do get that 5-star KUJA, I would highly recommend putting them on the team. They're just going to help with the output a lot more damage. And when I say a lot more damage, I mean a lot more damage. So we have a Sabo for color affinity, 2.25. We have Luffy for an attack boost. We have his base stat boost. We have a chain lock manipulator. We have the chain multiplier growth. We've pretty much covered everything that we need to cover. There is only one other buff in the game that not a lot of people talk about, and that is the new buff where you take 1.5 extra damage. Now, because the characters are boosted, they actually get all their cooldowns, and that means Law is going to start with his cooldowns. So even though he's not getting boosted on this team, I really want to include Law here. But unfortunately, we can't because we have 1-0 Law. Now, if there's a way to manipulate our orbs into strength orbs, we could use something like Verse Ace. But unfortunately, we might just be sort of stuck here a little bit because there's just too many good Laws in the game. So that's your other option. You could use Law if you don't have 1-0 Law. And then try and find another way to make Ace versus Ace work. But for versus Ace to work, you need to make sure that you have a Strength Orb on Luffy, which can be relatively hard to do because reasons, I guess. You could probably try and farm up versus Ace's verse ability, but that is very hard to do in Kizuna. So that is another bit of a downside to that as well. So we do have an extra slot sort of just sitting here on our bench. So I guess we could use something like V2 Vivi Rebecca instead of Jumanji. So if we take Jumanji off and we use V2 Vivi Becca. Now V2 Vivi Becca, you're not going to be able to get their special, but at least you'll have more color affinity with them as well. Then instead of using Jumanji for the super typing, we could use something like Sanji and Pudding. Sanji and Pudding are boosted in this event too. They're just like a good hit stick. So they are basically going to do the job for you. With that, we've pretty much covered everything. You always really want to use the Shark Superb if you can. Even with the stalling, I think the Shark Superb will be better. But let me know in the comment section below if that's not the case. So this is the team that I sort of would be rocking with. In the early stages, we will obviously replace the Boa with another unit. Just like another really good hit stick. Probably something like the Zoro. Unfortunately, actually, now that I'm looking at it, Sanji and I guess you could use the Law Orb boost instead of the Sabo and Ace Orb boost. That is an option for you guys. 2.25 compared to 2.5 is a bit of a bummer. So, there is that. But I guess you could replace Sanji and Pudding with another free spirit character. Like Sabo and Ace themselves, if you have Sabo and Ace. They're literally just here as a hit stick, so you may as well use them. They're rainbow color affinity as well. Unfortunately, then, you will need to find a way to get the super typing. And unfortunately, Sabo and Ace don't count. So that brings us back to our Jumanji strat. So I guess we use Jumanji there. I guess that's going to have to work for now. So that's probably going to be my big damage team against the super boss. We will bring a friend, a Sabo. I guess we could probably just bring a friend Luffy, I guess. That's not going to be an issue whatsoever. I wonder if, because you boost free spirit, right? You only boost up to 4.5. I was going to say we could probably bring a friend Wano lore, but then we lose the 0.5, and then you gain the 0.5, it'd be exactly the same. So I think that's going to have to do it for that particular team. If there's a way for me to get a strength orb on my Luffy, let me know in the comment section below, and then we can put Ace there and bring lore instead of Sabo and Ace. That is another option. I just cannot think of a way of getting a strength orb on Luffy that doesn't involve, like, I don't even know. So that's going to be my big damage team. I'm going to save that to the crew. Okay, no, I'm not because I'm out of space. Let's move on to the next team now. So we're going to select all again, and we are going to restart. Alright, so the second fight is against a quick variation. Cerebrals, shooters, and free spirits get their special charge. And all we have to worry about is unfavorable slots. That's really the big gimmick here. Nothing else to it. Nothing really to worry about too much on the final stage besides unfavorable slots. So first of all, we want to look at Dex characters. And we want to look at shooters, free spirits, and cerebral characters. Alright, so once we've got that done up, we can click OK. Now, the best character I can think of is Lore. The new Dex Lore, he is going to be the best option in terms of an attack booster. But there is obviously going to be a better... How many Wano orbs do you need? So you need 8 to 14. So we can probably not get that, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. So first of all, we want to look at a very good leader. A very good Dex leader. And for that, like I said, Lore is probably going to be your best option. If you don't have Lore, other really, really notable characters you have are going to be Zoro. The super type Zoro. He's not boosted because reasons. Unfortunately, he's not going to get his cooldowns, which kind of sucks. You could use something like a Cerebral team with Sanji Pudding. You could probably use something like Vivi Becca. Now that I'm thinking about it, would Vivi Becca's multiplier be higher? I think their multiplier is higher than 5 times, isn't it? So we could probably make a Cerebral team here utilizing Vivi Becca, V2 Vivi Becca. And that way we could probably just like use Cerebral based characters. So if we just do this now, we take those off. And we move back until this realm. We can always bring a friend lore as well. We don't need to bring 2 lores. That's always a thing to consider as well. In terms of an orb boost, Nami and Robin are a very, very strong orb boost. They can also help with manipulating those unfavorable orbs. Same with Viva Rebecca being captain. They can get around that as well. Sanji and Pudding, they can just work as a really, really nice hit stick. They have like 2x stats as well, which is really, really cool. We can look at utilizing the chain lock mechanic here because Cerebrals are boosted. Whenever I see Cerebrals boosted, I always think of Sugar. Sugar's a really, really good option. You could always include Sugar here. She's not going to get an orb boost, but look, that's not going to matter too much. With Lore, we'll have an attack boost to our Cerebrals. The extra 1.5 times damage. With Vivi Rebecca, we can have the chain manipulation. Multiplier growth. We have a 2.5 times orb boost with this particular team as well. We have a full board of orbs with Vivi Rebecca as our captain. Sugar's going to abuse the chain multiplier. And then once we've done that, we can start looking at some other options. The only other thing that I can think of that we're missing here would be we have color affinity with our Sanji and Pudding as well. That's going to work really, really nicely. Because they're 2.25, aren't they? Yeah, 2.25 times color affinity. So we don't even need a Sabo for this particular team to function. The only other thing I can think of is a chain boost. Now, with this Croc can start the chain multiplier at 2 times. So you could always include this Croc on the team. He's going to be really, really nice. And that way we've pretty much got all bases covered. Now, what we can do as well, mainly because I have Lore myself, I can actually use Lore as my captain. And that way I can actually make use of the Sengoku support. With that, I can find a friend V2 Viva Rebecca, and that way I've got a chain buff mechanic as well. So that way I'm starting at a 2.7 times multiplier, not including the chain growth manipulation as well as the sugar buff. So we're going to have a lot of chain shenanigans. We have a 2.75 times attack boost, a 1.5 times damage manipulator, 2.5 times orb, 2.25 color affinity. This team should do a lot of damage. This team should be in for a really good time. Once again, we're going to use the Shark Superb because our captain is Strength Extra Quick. And it's just going to work really, really nicely. So I don't think we're going to have any issues with the Super Boss on this particular team. Like I said, I don't like to use the damage calculator. I just like to sort of go in and see how it goes. But this team's pretty impressive. I do like Cerebrals. I think they have like some of the highest damage numbers. Mainly because they have access to all these chain shenanigans that Sugar just so renowned for. And you guys will see what I mean when Yamato comes out. But let's move on to the final super boss now, and let's talk about and build a team for that. Alright, so the final boss is a Dex boss. Strength, Dex, and Quick characters get their cooldowns. You get burn on the final stage, and the enemy will lock target. Now, on the final stage, if you guys didn't check out my playthrough video, once again, I will leave that in a link in the description. You guys will see what I mean. It's basically the KUJA pirates, and there's two like mob enemies in the back. The whole idea of this was sort of just to say use Kid, and then you can use Kid's final tap, which is definitely an option for you guys if you are missing Kid. Bring a friend Kid, you know. But we are going to put on our filters of strength characters, because strength characters have color affinity, and then we're basically going to go from there. Because there are multiple enemies, you can use something like Mihawk Piranha, so keep that in mind. We do want a very, very good captain, however, though. We want a very, very good captain, and ideally we want them to be a strength captain. Namely, the first one that comes to my mind that is a very, very good strength captain is Odin. Odin is amazing, as well as Super Type Sabo, if we are building just a predominantly strength-based team. So, we're going to use Sabo, that way we can actually use the chain multiplier stuff. And then we can actually use Mihawk and Piranha. Mihawk and Piranha are going to give us that conditional boost, and this is like one of the only times we can actually get a conditional boost unless we're using the KUJA pirates themselves. So we're going to be utilizing that. That's a 2x conditional boost, which is great. Sabo is a color affinity booster, as well as a chain buff and a chain multiplier. We can then bring a friend captain Odin. If you don't have Sabo, bring Odin, then bring Sabo like as well. Odin's going to be really, really nice because he can give us an orb boost to our strength characters, a 2.5 times orb boost, and he can make Wano slots too, which is going to be really, really handy, like really, really handy. You can get a nice chain boost with the Sweet 3. They're another really good option as a captain. You could probably use them. Their super type conditions, a bit hard to fill, where Sabo is a little bit easier, as we can sort of just bring an ace character. Now, the first character that comes to mind when it comes to Ace is Verse Ace. Now, the beautiful thing about Verse Ace is he can manipulate the chain and start it at 2.5. So we can start doing those chain boost shenanigans. Odin's an orb booster, which is great. We just need an attack booster now, like a really, really good attack booster for this particular team. And one of the main attack boosters that comes to mind when it comes to the strength team is you could use something like Kid easily. You probably don't want his final tap because we're going to be getting above a 4.5 times chain multiplier. And the whole idea is to do the damage to the KUJA pirates, not the enemies in the back. But look, it's definitely an option for you guys anyway. For an attack booster, I can think of Luffy Sanji. Luffy Sanji can be a 2.5 times attack boost provided you are at max HP. They give the overheal mechanic, so it's very, very easy to get that. Luffy is another way to trigger the super typing of Sabo as well, so there's also that. So I think we will include Luffy Sanji in here. So with that, we've got color affinity, we have a conditional boost, we have an attack boost, we have an orb boost. With Odin as our friend captain, we've got Wano orbs as well, which is a really, really good shout. The only other thing that I can think of now that we are missing is a way to get matching orbs before we use our Odin special. Obviously, Ace gives us matching orbs, but Ace also gives an orb buff. So, well, actually, we could easily use Odin first and then use the Ace special because Odin turns strength orbs into Wano slots. So you can easily use Ace, what's his name first? Odin first, and then use Ace after it and just get a full board of strength orbs, which is going to be really, really nice. We're pretty much covered across all bases now. We have everything that we need. We've got a chain multiplier manipulator. We have color affinity. The only thing I can maybe think of is we can get a higher color affinity boost. But I'm pretty sure for strength, there really isn't a higher, what's it called? There isn't a higher, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? There isn't a higher color affinity booster. So, you could probably use something like the Sweet 3. They give a higher chain boost mechanic, so you could use something like that. Otherwise, we could just use Sugar on this team as well. You could just use Sugar, start getting those chain manipulations that way. Remember, Sabo increases the chain multiplier growth by 4 times. So there is also that. Sugar's actually boosted because she is a quick unit. She's not going to do any damage, like, per se, but this particular team should just do some funky numbers. Now, the downside to using Sugar is we are probably going to break that 35 chain. So that means that we're probably going to have to take off something like Ace. But Ace is going to give us those matching orbs, which kind of sucks. It also comes into play about, or actually, we can, if we take Ace off, we can use Marco and Ace for a higher attack boost. 2.75 times attack boost to our strength characters. That is actually going to be a much better shout. I'm pretty sure with their switch ability too... They make strength orbs, right? Yeah, so they make their own slot and unfavorable slots into strength orbs, which is really, really cool. So that's our attack booster. We have Odin for our orb booster. We just need a way to manipulate our slots now. We could find a way to manipulate our slots, or we could use something like Lore on the team. I don't really want to use more than just Sugar in terms of like non-boosted units though. So that is kind of a bummer. I guess we could bring a friend Kid. We could bring like Odin on the team, and then we can bring a friend Kid and get the super typing of Kid. That could be an option as well. And Odin will be our orb booster. So will Kid though, to be honest. It's more about just getting those matching orbs. I really don't want Kid super typing as well though. That's the thing as well. If we could find a way to get matching orbs with this particular team, or strength orbs, or actually we could use the Akanu support. Yeah, we could definitely use the Akanu support. And then with that, we could probably include Law on the team. Law's going to get his cooldowns anyway, and he's going to give us that 1.5 times extra damage. And then we could do something like this. And then now like have our hit sticks later, like at the back. And we could do something like this, a kindness support to get a full board of strength orbs. And then we're sort of just relying on back-ended damage anyway. And that could do a lot. We could still obviously use the Shark Superb as well. And that way we've got a conditional boost. We have chain, like there's a lot going on for this particular team. Like a lot going on. The downside is obviously Law and Sugar won't be getting boosted under Sabo. Sabo will have to start the chain. But then Odin, the last 3 hits are going to be absolutely monstrous hits. So I think I'm going to rock with that for now and see how much damage. But like I said, let me know in the comment section below if you guys have some other teams. If you have some other ideas, I'm more than happy to listen as well as take feedback. As I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an insight into my team building strats and stuff like that as well. So that's going to wrap up the video today, guys. A bit of a long one. I didn't mean to actually make it this long, but nevertheless, it managed to happen this way. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!